Hey guys, I have to apologize for the lighting and everything in this video because every single piece of technology that I have that is capable of recording is throwing a fit and probably on strike against me today. My iPad, my video software that I use to trim and edit, my laptop didn't want to record my voice, so I've done this video several times today, and now I'm just tired, so I changed back into my pajamas and took my hair out of my braid. And I'm actually going to need my glasses too for this video, so here we go. I had a video request for how to prevent and control gas, farting, flatulence, passing gas, whatever you want to call it. And I have a list of things, and I'll also post some things down below in the description bar so that you can see the difference between the foods and what, food combinations, and I'll also give some links and probably some books that I've read, because I have read on this before. So the first thing that you want to start with is animal protein. That's a really big staple in most people's diets. So basically what you want to do is make sure that you're combining your red meats, fish, poultry, whatever it is that you're eating, with a non-starchy vegetable. And starchy vegetables are going to be your artichokes, oats, corn, peas, carrots, things like that. Those will lead to excessive gas and bloating. When animal proteins and starchy vegetables are broken down together, basically the protein is coated with a sugary substance, and your salivary glands produce amylase, and I think it's called ptyalin. It's P-T-Y-A-L-I-N, which break down the starchy vegetables into simple sugars, and then the proteins and sugars produce a compound called AGE, which is advanced glycation end products, which AGE basically is something that is linked to inflammation and disease. So the best way to describe it is when you eat the wrong combinations of foods together, they produce bad results. Gas, reflux, bloating, pain, headaches, rashes, acne, dry hair, things that we just don't want. It's also extremely hard to digest your food that way, so that's just something that you don't want. Instead, what you want to do is with your animal protein, you want to eat non-starchy vegetables. So those would be asparagus, broccoli, green beans, sea vegetables, garlic, things like that. And in the description bar, I will post starchy and non-starchy vegetables so you know what to combine with what, because it is a little bit confusing and some people disagree on certain things, but basically just listen to your body. If you're eating, carrots and by themselves and you're getting bloating, maybe you have a carrot issue. So just stay away from stuff, just listen to your body, and always integrate changes very small amounts into your diet very slowly so that you can tell the difference in what you're having an issue with. That's always the best route to go. The next thing is grains and grain-like seeds with starchy or non-starchy vegetables. This is the easiest one to follow. Starchy and non-starchy vegetables are basically everything I listed, to eat and not to eat. So basically what you want to do is you want to take stuff like buckwheat, quinoa, amaranth, and you can combine them all together, or you can put like brown rice with any kind of vegetable. So you want to do broccoli, onions, garlic with brown rice. You could do a stir fry, something like that. That's just an example. But grains and grain-like seeds with any vegetable, pretty much, you should be fine. A big one that I noticed that made a huge difference in my diet particularly was the fruit consumption. I like fruit. Fruit is really good. But if you're eating fruit, you want to make sure that you're not eating fruit at least 30 minutes before any meal. I try not to eat fruit at least a couple hours after any meal, or 30 minutes to an hour before any meal. So and that goes for fruit juice as well. So if you don't want gas, bloating, any of that yucky stuff, make sure that your fruit is something that you're taking in. I would just recommend doing it before your meal. at least, if you really have severe bloating with pretty much every meal, I would do it at least an hour ahead of time. You have to look at your stomach and think of it like a little sack. And basically what you're doing is all the food that you're putting on top of each other, you need to think of the fact that it's going to be sitting in 98.6 degrees. And if you have, you know, beef sitting here, which takes about 72 hours to digest, and then a piece of fruit, which takes a lot less time, it's going to be sitting on top of that beef for about 3 to 4 times as long as it should have, and it's going to ferment and spoil and cause all kinds of issues in your body like inflammation and gas. So basically what we've gone over is the good, which is you want your proteins with your vegetables, you want your fats with your vegetables, and your starches and your fats together in moderation, of course. And the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The bad that we've gone over was protein and starches. So any starches and proteins together is a no-no. Fruit and starches and fruit and protein is a no-no. And just a couple little quick tips that I found that seem to be really helpful for a lot of people is, number one, melons are best eaten alone as they are digested very quickly. So the quicker something digests, the quicker it needs to get out of the body so that it doesn't ferment and cause any sort of bubbly issue. It's best not to follow your main meal with fruit or a sugary, starchy dessert. And the best food combining is monofoods, which basically means eating one food at a time. If you can, I like to graze over the day. So if you can stand to do something like that, if you can eat one food at a time, I like to eat, you know, I'll eat in the morning like an egg. And then a couple hours later, I can eat a piece of fruit. And then a couple hours later, I can eat a bunch of kale. And then a couple hours, you know, and I eat one food over the period of the day, because for me 6 small meals a day is too much. But if you spread that out, then you're more likely to see what you have an issue with, and you're less likely to have a food combination issue. Food combining can be very tricky and extremely confusing, because there's so many different sources out there that say, well, don't do this together, but you can do, and they all kind of contradict each other. So your true thing that you need to learn to do the most is to listen to your own body. Right, keeping a food journal is a really big one. Sometimes gas can be produced because of a food allergy. I know I used to have really horrible gas problems, and once I went gluten-free, I have a lot less of that. And even now when I eat gluten-free products, like if I eat gluten-free bread or crackers or anything like that, I still get that kind of like really bloaty kind of feeling if I eat too much of it. So I kind of stay away from that stuff too, unless it's like a special occasion of some sort. But if you may have a food sensitivity, you may have a grain sensitivity or a lactose sensitivity, or you may have an allergy. So if you do start doing the food combining and you find that you're still having these issues and you have to take Beano and Gas-X and all that stuff regularly, then make sure that you see somebody about it. Go to an allergist and get tested for any kind of allergies that you think you may have. Most people suspect that they have a type of allergy, like a corn or soy or wheat or something like that. So if you are suspecting that you have something, then you're probably right. You're probably listening and tuning into your body. Oh, another thing. Drinking. If you're going to drink something, do not drink with your meal, and try not to drink anything at least, you know, I would say 15 to 20 minutes before or after a meal. I love drinking hot tea with my meals, but unless it's ginger or peppermint tea, like herbal tea, I probably wouldn't recommend it, because those two teas help with digestion. Which brings me to another thing. If you are having problems with your digestion, then I would go ahead and suggest something like peppermint or ginger. So if you like ginger or peppermint tea, or both together, or if you just want to get capsules from the vitamin shop or anything like that, you can get peppermint droplets that you put into water, and that'll help ease digestion as well. So any of those things should help. Sitting propped up at night helps to alleviate reflux. which also in turn actually helps with bloating and gas and things like that. So I hope that those things helped. I am going to include some things in the description bar, so make sure you check that out. And if you guys have any other questions or video requests, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was very informative for you.